Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Tex once again with Intersect's Open Source Office. Today we are going to go through another project spotlight, if you will. I'm joined by Logan with the Clarity DAO. And Logan, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks Tex for having me on. Yeah, my name's Logan and I'm one of the co-founders / core community members for the Clarity DAO.
Awesome, thanks. And actually, I think, Logan, if I know it's not maybe relevant here, but you're also an ICC delegate, right? Or a constitutional delegate anyway.
Yeah. So I got voted as the traveling alternate to head down to Buenos Aires to have hopefully participate in the conversations that will lead to the ratification of the Cardano Constitution.
Awesome. Well, we love to see the decentralization. So congratulations on that. We'll bring this back, of course, to Clarity. So, tell us some more about Clarity in general. What's y'all's main mission here in the Cardano ecosystem?
Yeah, really, the main mission is to provide the best community management infrastructure for really any project. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Cardano native project. Those are probably the projects that we serve best with our different features and whatnot. But the way I see it is our job is to build tools that are so useful to communities that we're able to bring people from outside of blockchain, outside of Cardano, into Cardano, almost without them even knowing it, by implementing decentralized operations with our tooling. So yeah, we'll get more into the weeds, I'm sure, but a high level, it's a community management infrastructure for decentralized operations and communities.
All right. So this doesn't have to be too technical, but how exactly would you say that the Clarity DAO integrates or operates on the Cardano blockchain, and what are some unique features that you all have to enhance data reliability and security?
Yeah, that's a good question. And a lot of our app is actually like Web 2.5, Web 2 in some senses even. But we do leverage the Cardano blockchain for a certain subset of governance and treasury management infrastructure called Agora DAOs. So this is an open source and audited library of Plutus scripts that are built for Cardano projects to manage a treasury together and have token governance to automatically execute. So we leverage the Cardano blockchain for the shared management of treasuries. You can have any governance token, any Cardano native asset as a governance token. You set the thresholds to say, in order for the smart contracts to execute when you want them to execute. So you have 100 people in your DAO and you want 51 people to vote yes in order for a treasury withdrawal to go through, or updating the governance parameters, or having the DAO treasury delegate to a certain DREP. Those decisions automatically execute. So there's no middleman in between the community's voice and the action being taken. So yeah, we also leverage the Cardano blockchain to apply dynamic voting power in a snapshot manner as well. So you may not want everything to be completely on chain. And you may not want everything to have like this effect that happens. So you can have any Cardano native asset act as governance power within your community as well.
Good stuff. If we take that into some use cases, I know for reference that was used for what was the ATX Gov DAO. That's where we did the constitutional workshop. But if there are any beyond something like that, or if you could kind of dive into that a little bit more, the reasons why that was used or how that was set up, within the Cardano ecosystem, what's gonna drive people to come in and create something on the Clarity platform?
Yeah, so really the ATX Gov DAO was the DAO that was used to create and have community-centric decision-making for the Austin Cardano Constitutional Workshop. So people came together, they got, actually gems, so off-chain DAO tokens every time they helped share, a tweet, invited people to the workshop, really anything to help the mission forward. And then that would actually be their governance power to vote on what are we going to have for lunch? What are we going to have for breakfast? In terms of use cases, it's a blessing and a curse, because decentralized governance infrastructure can be applied to so many different verticals. So you have DeFi protocols like SundaySwap uses Clarity to have a DAO-owned treasury for the Sunday protocol, which is really cool. So every month they deposit USDM from trading fees that the DAO actually governs. So you have DeFi protocols, you have NFT groups, meme coins can use it to gamify their governance. So there's some crypto-centric use cases, but really my main focus, and one of the things Clarity wants to do, is look at those real world use cases. Where are these communities that need to come together, govern themselves, take action, and how can DAOs be used as a pretty much a corporate tool and complement to traditional organizational structures? So one example is like sports clubs. So you have this distributed community around the sports team where you want their input. They want to, help the team do well. They want to help fill the stadium. They want to, you have these super fans that want to give more in that community. So that's one of them. Another one is like YouTube communities. So influencers, they need their communities to be engaged. And really how we think about it is a DAO, like an LLC or like a corporation, is a structured way to organize. But instead of focusing on board members and focusing on the board members and the employee relationship, it focuses on the core contributors and the core community, the super fans around that organization. So lots of use cases you could talk about. DeFi protocols oftentimes want to implement decentralized governance somewhere in their roadmap. It could be investment clubs. But yeah, we're happy to serve any of those use cases. We're trying to figure out which one really sticks and where we provide the most value.
So that being said, what's been probably the most notable project or biggest success story that y'all that anyone using Clarity has had, rather?
Yeah, I would say that the Sunday Swap DAO is a good one. I also think Flux Point Studios is really cool. These are the DAOs that have treasuries on Clarity. So Flux Point Studios is a DAO-owned gaming studio. Sunday Swap is a DeFi protocol. I'm in the process of getting a big sports league on, actually. So hopefully I'll have a big announcement about that too. And then hopefully some professional soccer teams here in the next few quarters as well. But honestly, the biggest success story is the Clarity DAO. We got to launch. We have a multi-million-dollar treasury that's governed by the DAO. We have DAO-owned liquidity in the treasury as well. And we've had good participation in governance kind of from the genesis of the token. We committed to using an Agora DAO structure to have a smart contract governed treasury. So really we're trying to blaze the trail a little bit and be like, hey, this is how you can operate in a decentralized setting.
So if we go off the path here just a little bit, and I understand this will be probably more opinionated than anything, but how does this relate in, let's say, helping the community better understand how the Cardano treasury is supposed to work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the main parallels that you can draw is you can have programmatic treasuries where you know exactly what's being governed, what it takes to take funds out of it. But the other thing is we provide tools so that communities that are governing, so say it's DREP communities or SPO communities, they can actually have forums or votes saying, hey, there's this governance action coming up. This is how I'm thinking of voting, and then hear from the community their thoughts on it as well. So I think it can definitely be used as an educational tool because with Cardano's governance, we're going to have decentralized communities on top of decentralized communities, and it's hard to actually disseminate the right information. But definitely, we're entering this new era of governance where Cardano is really blazing the way and trying to create a decentralized network state and having a constitution and actually having on-chain governance. And this is something that could change the world. And really what Clarity does is we let anyone, on a project level, carry out on-chain governance. So there's a lot of parallels and stuff to be learned from doing it on the large scale and the small scale for sure.
Absolutely. So we're moving a little bit into the future state here. And if we look at it from that perspective, from the open source development perspective, what is some development that's coming in the future? What are some new features that y'all are most excited about or would really love some help to develop?
Yeah, so we're actually creating an open source voting tool for the Constitutional Convention. So that will be open sourced as we get it out here. I know the Justin and Matt are working hard, so you'll have kind of a membership based voting application that will be out that you can just grab. It's looking really cool, the UI and everything. So that'll be awesome. And then the next big release we have is the software development kit / our APIs. And this is something we're trying to get done by the end of the year, but essentially all of the utility that you get in the Clarity platform right now, you'll be able to just grab APIs and put it into your own interfaces, your own website, your own app, and customize it how you'd want. Because there's a ton of different features. You may not want all the features. Maybe you just want the snapshot voting. Maybe you just want the on-chain governance stuff. Maybe you just want the, community leaderboards and engagement stuff. So really, projects will have the ability to just build whatever they want into their own interfaces. The other big milestone we have, and we've actually released some of it so far, is integration with the multi-signature wallet. And we're actually working with Fluid Tokens and Mesh to build on their open source multi-sig wallet. We're going to be adding support for Cardano native tokens. There's going to be a lot of integrations in terms of lending and borrowing with Fluid. You can register this multi-sig wallet as a DREP, which Clarity is doing as well. I think that's another kind of announcement or thing on the roadmap is we are going to launch a DREP to represent entrepreneurs in the Cardano ecosystem. I mean, we talk to them all the time. We feel that, we have a good grasp on the ecosystem being here so long. So we feel we're in a good place to represent those voices. And yeah, I mean, in the future, the other big technical milestones and features is like vote delegation. So you'll be able to delegate your stake in a DAO to someone else to vote on your behalf. We'll add more proposal effects like swapping treasury assets, delegating treasury assets, and really make it so that DAOs can actually participate in governance and DeFi on Cardano. And then we'll continue to push forward with integrations in the Web2 world. So, like with X, if you want to automatically give someone points for retweeting something, with YouTube for subscribing, with Spotify for rating 5 stars or listening to a podcast, we're going to continue those integrations to make incentives an autonomous process within communities. And we'll see if the proposal gets passed, but we're also trying to create an app. So this is a Clarity app where it's a Vesper wallet, but it's branded Clarity essentially. And once you get into it, you can join any type of community that suits your fancy. People may not know it, but it's a decentralized wallet in the background, a self-custodial wallet in the background. So instead of having, this arduous, onboarding process where you have to tell someone to get a wallet and tell them to get an ADA, they can start interacting within communities that operate within the Cardano ecosystem right away. So I would say those are the biggest things coming down the pipeline.
Oh, that's super exciting and great to hear. With all of these things coming down the pipe here, as you mentioned, it sounds like we've heard quite a bit about ways for the community to be engaged, right? But how is it they get from, hey, I want to be a part of this, to actually being a part of it?
Yeah. So really, it depends on how you want to implement it. But they'd join your organization. You're able to gate membership. You can make them have to buy an NFT, hold an NFT. You can have membership requirements to verify their email. Then once they do that, you're actually able to create incentive boards and community competitions. So you can say, hey, if you follow us on YouTube, you get 50, DAO tokens, and we do diamonds, just like gamify it. And once they get those, they can do different tasks to keep stacking up their rewards, climb up the leaderboards, and then they can use those points to actually redeem prizes. So really, as the core contributors, you're able to say, hey, here's the things that will help out the community most if you do them. And the people that care about the mission and the vision, they'll hop in and they'll have a blueprint for saying, hey, here's how I can contribute and actually get rewarded for doing it.
That's awesome. Anything else that we should share or know about Clarity as we move on here?
No, no. I think we're good for now.
Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking some time, making some time for us. We'll be really excited to get this out for you. Of course, back to the community here. If y'all have any questions, anything that you want clarified, Anything that we should add or retract from these interviews here, definitely just let us know. Make sure to give us a follow here on X. That's at @IntersectOso. Also for Clarity there, Logan.
Clarity_DAO on X.
We
got a YouTube channel, and then the Discord is a good place to find us. And Tex, I don't know if it's something that normally is on your YouTube channel, but I'm happy to give like a visual and a demo for 5 minutes here if that would be something cool for the audience. If not, we can do it another time.
Let's give them a quick teaser, and then we'll do a little bit more of a full-blown in another video.
All right, let's do the teaser real quick. I'll share screen. All right, so this is the Clarity platform. I'll just fly through a few of the feature sets that you can do. So this is the Explore page. You can see different DAOs on here. And when you create a DAO, one of the main things you can do is governance. So you can ask your community anything. There's a ton of different governance actions you can create, whether you want to create a poll. This is like a yes/no vote, an open poll. This could be like an art competition where the community actually submits ideas. So you get to crowdsource ideas with this. You can have a discussion forum, because that's a big part of the governance process oftentimes, is to actually get ideas out there and get feedback on ideas. So that's kind of the governance side. People can come in, they can put in, see all the different options to vote on, see about it, and yeah, that's the governance side. And then the last thing I'll tease is kind of the community engagement stuff. So you can create different boards for your community as an admin or a core contributor. So we have the Clarity October raid here. We do a monthly raid. We're giving out 2.4 million Clarity for this raid. And what happens is people click in here. Every single day, we'll put a few raid challenges in. People can get points for completing them. And as they complete them, they level up on the leaderboard, and you can kind of see how much Clarity each person is making this month. And then we also just have boards that are always here that aren't time boxed. So if you want to create a thread about Clarity on X, you can get 200 diamonds. If you're new, here's an onboarding one where you can follow all of our socials and whatnot. And then as I stack those points up, I can redeem for different prizes. So yeah, that's a teaser of the platform.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure we'll look forward to a little bit of a deeper dive there. And for now, we'll go ahead and sign this off. But again, thank you once again to Logan and Clarity.
Thank you, guys.